That reading on your monitor this morning, there's a good chance it was completely wrong. And I'm not talking about a point or two off. I mean dangerously, catastrophically wrong. I'm Sarah, and I've seen people rush to the ER over false readings and others ignoring real warning signs because their numbers looked fine. The scary part? Your device isn't broken. You're just making mistakes that turn a reliable medical tool into a guessing game. Let me tell you about Margaret. She was 68, careful about her health, and had been getting perfect readings for years, 125/78, like clockwork. Then one week, everything went haywire. Her numbers shot up to 165/95, then 170/98. She panicked and called her doctor, convinced she was having a crisis. But here's the thing. Margaret hadn't changed anything about her health. She'd just started taking a morning walk to get the newspaper, then climbing the stairs back to her bedroom where she kept her monitor. That simple 2-minute walk was enough to throw her readings off by 30 points. Mistake number 11, measuring right after any physical activity, even light movement. Your body needs at least 5 full minutes to return to baseline after any activity. Without that rest period, you're measuring your active pressure, not your resting pressure. Margaret's doctor, trusting her home numbers, increased her medication. Her actual pressure dropped to 95/60, and she started getting dizzy and nearly fainted twice. All because of a technique error nobody caught. Now let me tell you about Harold, a 74-year-old engineer who measured his pressure the same way every morning for 15 years. Then his numbers started climbing for no apparent reason. After 3 months of tests, I asked him one simple question. Had his evening routine changed? Turns out his doctor told him to drink more water, so Harold started having a big glass before bed. Good advice, except he was now measuring every morning with a completely full bladder. Mistake number 10, measuring with a full bladder. A full bladder creates abdominal pressure that compresses blood vessels. Your body responds by constricting other vessels and activating your sympathetic nervous system. The result? Your reading can be 10 to 15 points higher than reality. Once Harold emptied his bladder before measuring, his numbers went right back to normal. Mistake number 9, talking or moving during measurement. Diane was 71 and measured every evening while chatting with her daughter on the phone. Her evening readings were always 15 to 20 points higher than her morning ones, and nobody could figure out why. When you talk, you engage muscles in your throat, chest, and abdomen. You change your breathing pattern. Even calm conversation creates enough physiological noise that the cuff can't accurately detect the subtle pressure waves it needs to measure. Mistake number 8, wrong arm position. Thomas spent hundreds of dollars on 3 different monitors because his home readings were consistently 25 points lower than what we got in the office. The problem? He was sitting on his couch, holding his arm straight out in front of him, elevated above heart level. When your arm is above your heart, gravity reduces arterial pressure. Below your heart, gravity increases it. The difference can be 20 points just from arm position. Your arm must be at heart level, not approximately, but exactly. Rest it on a table or armrest so the middle of the cuff aligns with the midpoint of your chest. Use a pillow if you need to get the height right. Mistake number 7, wrong cuff size. Ruth was 69 and petite with thin arms. She'd been on 3 different blood pressure medications for years, based on home readings around 155/92. But she felt awful, dizzy, weak, exhausted. When I measured her arm, it was 9 inches around. Her cuff was designed for 11 to 14 inches. It was way too big. With the right size cuff, her first reading was 118/75, perfectly normal. She'd been over-medicated for 3 years because of the wrong cuff size. If your cuff is too big, readings are falsely high, too small, and they're falsely low. Measure your arm at the midpoint between shoulder and elbow and make sure your cuff is designed for that size. Mistake number 6, measuring at random times. Franklin measured whenever he remembered, sometimes 6 a.m., sometimes 9 p.m., completely random. His readings ranged from 115/70 to 160/95. His doctor had no idea what to do with that data. Blood pressure follows a natural daily rhythm. Lowest during sleep, rising sharply in early morning, peaking in late morning or early afternoon, then gradually decreasing through evening. Random measurements just capture different points in that normal cycle. Measure at the same times every day, ideally once in the morning before breakfast and once in the evening before dinner. Mistake number 5, not keeping a proper log. If you don't write down your measurements, you're wasting your time. Memory is unreliable. People remember the scary high readings and forget the normal ones. Your doctor needs actual data, every reading, the date, the exact time, both numbers, and any relevant notes. Without a log, patterns are impossible to spot. Mistake number 4, measuring while stressed or anxious. Edward checked his pressure every morning while watching the news. Stories about crime, politics, and disasters triggered his stress response: cortisol, adrenaline, blood vessel constriction. His readings were consistently 155/92. When he measured in a quiet room before turning on the TV, they dropped to 128/80. Many people also create a vicious cycle. They're worried about their pressure, so they measure it, which creates anxiety, which raises the pressure, which creates more anxiety. Measure in a calm, peaceful environment after sitting quietly for 5 minutes. Mistake number 3, not checking both arms. Patricia measured her left arm for 5 years, always 120/75, perfectly healthy. Then during a routine physical, her doctor checked both arms. Left, 120/75. Right, 165/100. Testing revealed significant arterial narrowing on the right side and high stroke risk. When you start monitoring, check both arms for a week. If one is consistently higher by more than 10 points, use that arm and tell your doctor. Check both arms every few months to make sure nothing's changed. Mistake number 2, taking only one reading. Blood pressure varies minute to minute. Vincent's single daily readings were all over the place. 125/80 one day, 150/95 the next. When we had him take 3 consecutive readings in my office, the first was always elevated, but by the third, his body had fully relaxed. Take 3 readings, 1 to 2 minutes apart. Record all 3 and average the second and third. That's your real number. Mistake number 1, measuring over clothing or rolled up sleeves. This is the big one. Alice did everything right. Same times, proper rest, correct position, perfect logs. But her readings were consistently 20 points higher than ours. The problem? She rolled up her cardigan sleeve before measuring. A rolled up sleeve creates a tourniquet effect that constricts blood flow. Even thin fabric between the cuff and your skin interferes with measurement. Alice removed her cardigan and measured on bare skin. Her reading dropped from 155/95 to 132/78, 23 points. She'd been on unnecessary medication for years. Always measure on completely bare skin. Take off the shirt if you need to. This single change can correct your readings by 10 to 25 points. George made every single one of these mistakes. He was on 4 medications, feeling terrible, with readings ranging from 110 to 180. When we implemented the proper protocol, his true pressure turned out to be well controlled on just 2 medications. His energy came back, his dizziness disappeared, and his pressure stayed stable at 128/76. Here's your complete protocol. Measure twice daily at the same times. Use the bathroom first. Avoid caffeine and exercise for 30 minutes beforehand. Sit with back support, feet flat, arm at heart level on bare skin. Rest quietly for 5 minutes. Take 3 readings 1 to 2 minutes apart. Average the second and third. Write everything down. Your blood pressure predicts your risk of stroke, heart attack, and cognitive decline. But you can only manage what you accurately measure. Now you know how to get it right.